All right, ask and you shall receive, right?
Oh my goodness, we were
put
saying,
it out into the universe.
and you're
We're
here.
Maybe,
What did you say? What did
we
you
said,
do?
well, maybe Ben Stiller would like. He's probably watching U.S. Open now,
Right.
and he probably heard us, and that's exactly what happened, right?
You know what? I just felt this something in my mind was drawing me
The
to
telepathy
this booth. Yeah.
Welcome
Yeah.
to U.S. Open
Yeah.
now. Well, you know what we were doing? We were showing video of you having that conversation with Rafa Nadal.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, you know what? There's not a lot of people that could do that, where Rafa would stop practice just to come talk to you. So
Yeah,
what were you guys
that was
talking about?
I mean, I'm a fan, and so, you know, I've never seen him practice up close, so I was trying to act cool and be like we were buds. But, you know, we've known each other since, I think, like 2012. I saw him at Indian Wells, and I happened to we were sitting behind his box and went back afterwards because we, you know, got friendly with the people in the box, and then went to meet him, and then we've stayed in touch over the years. And
That's awesome.
I'm just a huge fan. So we just, you know, talking about life. Hadn't seen him, I guess, since last Indian Wells. So.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, how many days are you planning to be out here? We've seen you a couple of days. Are you going to be
It's
here?
too much. I feel
Are
like.
you
No,
going to be out here every
no.
single day?
No,
Are you?
well, I went to see John Isner play,
Okay.
which was really fun. And then yesterday I came to see Rafa practice, and then today I'm going to watch the match. And Isner's playing today too, but I think it's happening at the same time. And I don't know. I try to come as much as I can. You know, it's great when you live in New York. This is such a great New York event, and to be able to take advantage of it, and to be able to, you know, get up close. Just as a tennis fan, it's, you know, it's fun. It's
Do
really
you play?
fun. I attempt to play. I did.
Don't be shy now. Don't be coy.
Yeah, come
No,
on.
I'm not. I
You're-
started really late. Like, I started literally like maybe 8 or 9 years ago. I just did not grow up in a tennis family, and then I started taking lessons. And then about, I don't know, like 4 years ago, Rafa pulled me out on the court at this Madison Square Garden exhibition with Del Potro, and it was one of the most embarrassing experiences of my life. This like 10-year-old girl, who now I'm sure is a pro, just killed me. And then I started taking lessons in earnest to prepare if I was ever, you know, pulled back out on a court, which hasn't happened, thankfully. But I love it. I mean, it's one of my favorite things.
Now,
to
do you play in a men's league? And if you do, are you one of those guys that takes it really seriously? I feel like there's a certain age where guys get really competitive and they start hooking each other.
Yeah, no, I take it very seriously, but I don't play any leagues, and I'm not good. So that's like, it's a horrible combination of taking it seriously and not being good.
I feel like we should involve Ben into our Twitter poll question.
Oh, definitely.
So we've had this Twitter poll question that we've been throwing it out to our U.S. Open Now fans. And the question is, day session or night session?
What's your favorite?
What's your favorite? What are you going with?
I would go to night session. I think there's something about the night sessions that just really, there's an excitement there. It's, you know, usually it's a little bit cooler, and it
helps.
feels, you know, it kind of feels like a very New York sort of thing. And then they go really late sometimes, and you know, it's the only thing that's tough when you go to the live event is that you don't get to hear the great commentators, because I feel like that's such a big part of it too. You know, being able to hear
You could
the
wear the
McEnroes.
Amex.
Yeah, sometimes,
yeah.
but then you have
earbud.
to be the guy who has that thing on the side of his ear, which
Then
I'm willing
would,
to do.
You would be that
It's worth it.
guy.
Yes, I am.
I want to touch a little bit more because you mentioned the night session is very New York. I feel like this
Yeah.
entire event is very New York. This is my first time here, actually, at the U.S. Open.
And have you been to New York before?
Yeah, I mean, I live
Okay.
in New York only for the last couple of years.
Okay.
But it's just stunning to me, like the amount of things to do here, the grounds and everything. What's your favorite
Yeah, like
part?
just what's going on
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
So many people, yeah. I mean, I think it's actually fun in the first week to be able to go to the smaller courts, the courts where there's only like, you know, little bleachers there, and you can sit and watch the best players in the world up close. As if, I mean, they're playing
Yeah.
in the tournament, but it doesn't feel like it's a tournament because it's not in a big stadium. And so that's really fun to do. And I think that's one of the best things, is to be able to go pop around and see different matches happening, and then be able to watch the practice courts, and just, you know, kind of be able to dip into different matches that are happening early on in the tournament.
We ran a piece earlier about there was a race between what's the best way to get to the U.S. Open. You can either do the van/Uber, you can do the LIR, or you can take the 7 train. We were having the conversation. I wonder how Ben Stiller gets here. So do you go with the subway, or do you have the Uber? No, do you have your car service?
I actually hitchhike.
Oh,
I
okay.
find
is
that
that-
the most exciting way to get, because you're going to meet somebody.
Yeah,
and
I
you don't
think
know.
that's-
No, I do take a car out here. But you know, the trains get out here pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in New York. I used to go to see Yankee games and take the D train up to Yankee Stadium. That was like the best way to get there. So, and back in the day, Shea Stadium was right here too. So that was, you could get there by train too. But yeah, I do come by car.
All right. Well, I know you have a busy day ahead of watching lots of great tennis. We appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks. A busy day of stressing out, not being able to do anything.
Getting tennis tips from
Yes.
everybody. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Get the tennis tips.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for stopping
Thank
by
you.
and enjoy the day. I mean, there's so much.
Thank you. The weather's been so
It's been
amazing.
great.
So good.
Yeah, it's so much
Nice
fun.
humidity, some breeze.
Very
It's
nice.
nice. It's nice. It's very un-New York today.
Yeah, I know. It's that thing where you never know if it's going to be super sweaty or just beautiful like now. So let's enjoy it.
Yeah,
Right?
let's enjoy it.
Yeah.
Ben, thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, thank
Nice
you so
talking to
much.
Nick, you've gotten so tall. This is unbelievable.
I don't think this man needs an introduction, but I will do it anyway. Kobe Bryant sitting down with us now, a 5-time NBA champ, but what was it, 18-time
18.
All-Star?
Yeah.
Just a few, a few. Thank you so much for sitting down with us here on US Open Now, and we've been seeing the footage of you kind of enjoying the US Open at
Yeah.
a few matches yesterday and taking part in some stuff today. What are your impressions of this event?
You know, the energy here is remarkable. You know, I'm used to playing and going, you know, to events that are just single events, you know, one major stadium. But to be here and to see the energy and people walking around, kind of the hustle and bustle of it all, aside from the great tennis being played, is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is a little mind-boggling, right,
Yeah.
when you come out here,
sure.
especially now. You were out here yesterday, checking out Naomi Osaka and Coco and all sorts of different matches going
Yeah.
on. Well, Osaka was very nice. She acknowledged that you were here as well as Colin Kaepernick, and she was asked after her match, hey, is that more pressure on your shoulders because they were out here watching you? And she was like, no, I just didn't want to go to the third set because I didn't want them to sit out in the sun any longer. I thought that was very
She's very
thoughtful of her
considerate,
to
yeah.
say that.
She's so sweet. She is. She's really sweet. But what a player, though. That's a phenomenal talent. Phenomenal talent.
I mean, you're a phenomenal talent as well. What kind of appreciation do you have coming out here and watching these tennis players, especially in person? Because in person, it's a completely different
It's
experience.
different. The speed of the game is something that you have an idea of it when you see it on TV, but when you're in person, the speed of it is truly remarkable. And their footwork and the fact that they're really isolated,
Yeah.
right? There's no teammate out there that can cover for a blown coverage. You know, it's just you,
Yeah.
right? And when you're in person and you're watching them, you know, perform, that is extremely evident.
And we've been talking a lot about Coco Gauff and just, you know, she's 15 years old, but the
Yeah.
poise and the maturity that we've seen from her, both on the court and off the court, dealing with so much at such a young age. That's something you're obviously very in tune with. What have your impressions been of her and just how she's been handling this spotlight?
Well, you know, to me, it's amazing, you know, how fundamentally sound she seems to be. And I'm no tennis aficionado, but from the people that I've spoken to, it's that she's extremely sound, and her poise is, you know, it's ahead of her years. You know, to see her drop a set, to not get rattled, to stay composed, and to come back and get the next two. At 15, I know 35-year-olds that can't do that. You know.
This is
Do
true.
you
yeah.
have advice for her? I mean, because
Yeah.
you obviously went through a similar thing at a very young age.
Well, it's to stay the course to what's important, which is the craft. You have to continue to get better at the craft. There's going to be a lot of things pulling you in different directions, and they're fun, right? A lot of responsibilities, you know, corporate responsibilities, things like that. But you have to stay locked in on what got you these opportunities, which is the game of tennis, and continue to get better at that.
How many times have you been out here to the U.S. Open?
This is my first time.
This is your very
Really?
first
This is my first time. So
I
yesterday
don't
is
know
my
why I thought
first
you had been
day.
here out here.
I wish.
Wow.
I was, you know, busy doing a bunch of other stuff.
Playing basketball or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That kind of took up a little time.
Yeah, and so now I get the opportunity to do this, and hopefully next year I can bring my kids. They'll be a little older, and we'll have a good time as a family.
Well, I'm so interested in terms of the intersection between what you are doing with tennis, because you're coming out with a book, Legacy and the Queen,
Yeah.
and
Which we have on set, by
which
the
we
way.
have. I
Conveniently.
love the
Thank you.
I will be the
How
band
long? I
model.
want to read this, but how long is this? It doesn't look
No,
very.
it's not long at all.
Okay, I'm
It's
all
not long
about
at
simple
all.
reading
And, you know,
these days.
the first page
Oh, I gotta-
and the
I'm doing a
last
bad job.
page, you have to do yourself a favor and like open it underneath the sunlight.
Under the sunlight.
Under the sun.
Here,
Open it
wait,
under
here,
the
I'm gonna give
sun,
you a-
and then you watch magic happen. You got to be right under the sun.
Oh, there's a.
there's like a tree or something.
This is very cool.
So,
wait, tell me a
yeah.
little bit more about this book. And I know this is the first of 5, right?
Yeah.
And I guess give us the cliff notes. I mean, without giving it away, but
Yeah.
what's the focus of the book?
Well, the book, the idea started originally with wanting to tell a story that dealt with the journey of inner emotion and the challenge that we face. It's like the first book we released as a company is called the Wisdom Art series, and that was a story of empathy and compassion. So I made it about a basketball team. You have teammates that you need to understand and appreciate and so forth. This one, I wanted the struggle to be more inner. And to me, tennis is the best story for that to live because it is just you out there facing these external challenges that then challenge you internally. And so that's what the book is about. It's about legacy, fighting for what she loves and trying to hold on to what she loves dearly, not understanding how big of a challenge she's facing, and we'll have to see if she can overcome it or not.
I mean, this is a tremendous project. I mean, for somebody who is very passionate about psychology and mental health, I know, Jaymee, you hear me talk about all the time, and it's something that is really coming to the forefront, especially in the world of sports. We're hearing a lot more athletes come out and be more forthright about the issues that they're going through. But how much did that inspire you to start this book series?
A lot. And I think the important thing for me in creating these books is, I got a lot of people that said, you can't write these books. Kids won't understand them. The messages that you're trying to convey to these children, they're not ready to hear that. Just let them hear something fun and, oh, look, it's magic and all sort of stuff. And I disagree with that. I think it's important to distill these very complex messages, especially in dealing with emotion and how to deal with anxiety, how to deal with pressure, how to deal with success and failure. Distill those down at a very early age. So now kids can start being self-aware at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. And it better prepares them for life, I think. So.
And 4 daughters now, right?
4 daughters.
Congratulations on the latest edition.
Thank you.
How much of an inspiration were they for writing this?
Well, every book that we create has diverse characters. It's rare for us to find a book with characters that look like my girls, And so every book that I create comes from that place. I want them to have heroes in film and literature that remind them of themselves. And so it all comes from there.
I just had my first kid 11 months ago.
Congrats.
By the way, the MVP of your family, no offense to you, but is your wife.
Oh,
4 kids.
100%.
After having
100%.
one kid and just the physical changes and the toll, I won't go into it, but it's just, it's crazy. But it's been fun to watch you progress through your own personal journey. The Kobe pre-kid, do you think you would have ever done any of this?
No. If you would have told me then that this is what I would be doing, I'd be like, dude, no. I'm playing basketball like for the rest of my life. It was a singular focus. When you have kids, the world opens up. And now it's about Natalia, it's about Gianna, right? It's about Bibi, it's about Coco, and like loving them and making sure you put them in the best possible situation, as well as my wife. Like we've grown together in that. And making sure we're doing everything possible that, for them to live their best lives. So.
Yeah, and we're taking a look at some of the footage of you. I believe this was yesterday, hanging out with the NetGen kids.
Yeah.
Well, what was that experience like?
Oh, it was fun. It was good to see them kind of playing different sports. I mean, that's another big thing that we're passionate about is being able to mix sports up. And kids participate in everything. But it was fun to be with them.
So you've got a lot of estrogen in the house. Are you going for a 5th? Are you trying to go for,
Well, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having 5 girls.
Oh, okay.
My wife's like, dude, you got to give me a boy. Like,
so she's the one that's going for a boy?
She wants a boy.
Oh, my gosh.
But I'm like, I don't know if I can do it.
No?
And she's like, I don't know if I want to have 5. If we could guarantee it would be a boy, then yeah. But I don't want triplets either, so.
That's also something to consider.
It's her decision. I have no say-so on that. I'm not,
she should, because it's her body.
Exactly. It's her decision to make.
I do want to ask you about something else, because as we were learning on the set, multi-talented Kobe Bryant, a podcast coming out as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we have a podcast that I created a couple years ago called The Punies, and it's about these 2 announcers that want to be the best announcers in the world, and they have a group of friends that are out there participating in different sports every Saturday, right? So the first episode of season 2 airs tomorrow, and the episode is lacrosse.
Nice.
And they call themselves the GOGs, the good old gang. and it's them just hanging out, talking. I don't have coaches in the shows. I don't have parents in the shows. It's about the kids learning from each other and how they support each other through sport and competition.
Now, is this fictional? Is it a drama of any sort, or is it just real?
It's fictional. It's just a, I give you the inspiration. The inspiration came from watching The Sandlot.
Oh, okay.
So I was watching The Sandlot, and I was like, man, we need to do something like that. And I couldn't crack the story. And then every Christmas we watched Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And
feel
then
like there's a lot of young people that don't know.
They don't know.
No,
It's
they don't
crazy.
know. They don't know Sandlot.
It's crazy.
They don't know
It's crazy.
Charlie Brown.
But I took Sandlot and Charlie Brown. I said, we're going to mix those two.
Ah.
And that's how I came up with the Punies.
I love that.
I get.
Well, so where can you get it?
Anywhere podcasts are
Okay.
available, just download it. It's free. Download it. Check it out. It's a good old time.
Okay, I want to steer it back to big picture tennis now because you're here in your second day. Are you going to be here a third day? Are you going to check out the big match tomorrow?
I'm missing the big match.
No, you're gonna. I specifically designed
schedule.
the
Cancel
draw,
whatever you have
Kobe,
going on.
just
I know.
because I knew you were coming out
I
with your book.
know.
I said, you know what would be perfect if Coco Gauff and Naomi Osaka clash third round, and we had a seat for you. I purposely
Just
designed that, and
just
you're gonna.
rub
You can
it
watch.
in,
You can
man.
watch Coco play doubles today, though. She's going to be playing right behind us.
I could. I know.
You gotta bounce.
I
You
gotta
gotta bounce, yeah.
I gotta
All
bounce.
right.
So I'm gonna have to
You're
watch
a
it from
busy,
home.
busy man, we know,
Yeah.
and so we do appreciate you
Thank you.
taking the time to sit with us.
Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, have
Thank
a good
you.
time.
Oh, we have one more question.
Oh.
Yes, I
Oh,
forgot about
okay.
this. One last question. It's very quick. We do have a Twitter question. We ask this every day.
Hard-hitting.
Different things
Hard-hitting,
every day.
Kobe.
Today is, what color is a tennis ball? Do you think it's green or yellow? I didn't know it was such a hot button issue.
Well, that looks green to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
green?
that's like light green to me.
Okay. See, so
Interesting.
green.
it's
to
like
me.
the dress. You know,
Yeah,
the
it's-
dress from a
yeah,
couple
I
years
know.
ago.
It's
blue.
going to be, opinions will vary, I'm sure.
Chartreuse.
I said
We've come up
chartreuse.
with chartreuse.
Yeah,
if
it's
you don't
like
know
a
what
yellow
I didn't
green.
know.
Chartreuse. All right.
Yeah. Well, we know you got to go. Thank
green
you for
the color of
joining
his
us.
book. How about
yes.
that? There we go. Now we know why he chose that. Thank you so much for stopping
Thank you.
by.
Thank you.
It was really nice to
Thank
have you.
Thank
you.
I saw there's a Kim Crawford frosé.
What are you
as an
doing?
option.
Are you bringing us food?
Oh my gosh, Capon.
We have a microphone.
What are you? Yeah, we do. We have a.
So
Josh-
what are you doing here?
You don't call, you don't write, you just hang out. I mean, come on.
What is this for us?
This is for you. Come on.
Are you kidding me?
This is Josh Capon, if you don't know, of Laura Fish Bar, also Bowery Meat Company, and
He's got
Burger
20.
and
He's
Barrel.
got roughly 25 restaurants in the
What's
New York
going
City
on?
area.
Welcome to the Open, everybody.
Yeah.
I saw you yesterday.
You never run out of energy here.
Listen,
You're
we're at the
feeding
Open. You gotta
everybody
bring
here.
your A game.
No,
She
I was.
doesn't even tell me that she's here.
I did.
gotta find out on social media when I'm lying in bed. Ed, Ed, come
come
on
on,
here,
we
Ed.
got
What's
Ed
going
Brown.
on? By the way,
We got-
ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome for the U.S. Open for Ed Brown, the head of culinary. The head of culinary at the U.S. Open, everybody.
You know, you're stepping on Ed Brown's toes over here, dropping off 20 pounds of lobster, and he's about to feed us. This is a battle of the chefs.
on my time here. This is more timing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much.
No,
Ed's a real talent.
Wait, before you go, tell us what you dropped off here.
So here is
Oh,
Ed.
this
Ed will
has
tell
bacon.
you not only get the best tennis in the world, you get the best food in the world. I think that's really what separates the U.S. Open from every other sporting event there. Every year we're trying to raise the bar, if you will. This year we have some extraordinary lobster rolls, and this is our Lobster Blt. Notice the L stands for lobster, not lettuce. I like to say
I
lots
love
of lobster.
that. Oh
A
my
little
gosh.
bacon,
Show this
bacon, a little
off.
tomato.
Can you guys
Yes.
see this?
I made one with
it's
bacon, one without.
massive.
and there's multiple places where you can get lobster rolls here. I mean,
Witchcraft, yep. Witchcraft is doing
Are you
lobster rolls this
kidding
year.
me?
Witchcraft has one as well.
Ed does. You
That's
do lobster rolls
ridiculous.
on
We've
Aces.
got a Lobster BLT and Aces as well.
okay.
Oh,
These are the
seriously?
number one
Are you
seller.
guys friends? Are
Oh,
you
Just
guys
so,
like
just so we're clear, Aces is the
dueling?
premier seafood
He
restaurant on the
just said-
property.
he said-
Josh
probably
and
the
I are
number one
longtime
seller.
friends and colleagues.
longtime friends and colleagues?
In the chef world, we all go way back, and we're cut from the same cloth. And this expression, we all cook at water. And I think Ed will define that more than anybody else.
Absolutely, 100%.
Can I just tell you something, that anytime any chef here brings food by, it doesn't go to waste, because even if we can't eat it all on camera, I tell everybody behind the cameras, you wrap that up for me, put it to the side,
You
and
guys
we'll
can't
eat
see,
it.
but there's
to our
75
crew.
people
Oh, yeah.
behind
So-
those cameras
Yeah.
that'll eat all this food.
Sometimes we feed the crew, but I'm like, hey, if it's the good stuff, I guess I'm like, put that to the side for me. We always eat it.
Now we're putting you. head-to-head, Josh Capon and Ed Brown.
Chef
I lose.
battle.
I got a couple of plates coming out. A couple of our
I did
signature
not mean to
items.
sabotage you at all. I got a small window. I knew Jaymee was here. I'm actually bringing lobster rolls up to Kobe Bryant in a suite a little bit.
Name dropping.
No,
Capon's
no.
name
Did we
dropping
steal
now.
Kobe was in for dinner last night at the Barry Meat Company, and all they were talking about was the Open. I said, when are you going to the Open? They go, we're going tomorrow. I said, do you like lobster rolls? He says, I love lobster rolls. I said, if you text me, I'll be happy to bring you some lobster rolls. So he just texted me. I'm going up a little bit.
Oh, so do we
Okay.
steal them? Do
I
you
have
need
to bring
these
these
back?
These are actually for Kobe.
So,
and this Friday is
so,
props.
so if you
Kobe Bryant's lobster rolls.
if you really
Let's
had
take a
juice, you'd bring
photo
Kobe
first.
here to join us.
Yeah, I think it's here to see the tennis.
No, he's
I
coming
do have
tomorrow.
to take a
He's
photo.
coming tomorrow.
See, you guys
This
are
is
on
my
shit.
this is my like standard thing. No one can eat
No,
until
this
Jaymee
is
takes
kind
a
of.
photo.
I feel like this is kind of cool. I don't want to sneeze on it or something. If
no,
it's
no,
going to
this is
Kobe
actually
Bryant.
He's joking. This is
joking.
for us.
Those are 100% yours.
Oh, I thought you were serious.
I
you're
have to
not.
bring him 40.
Have you not met Josh?
all right.
He's
No.
never serious.
Well, no, he's a clown.
There's plenty of lobster rolls
You
everywhere.
can't give me an eye roll live when we're sitting in front of the
Listen, you
camera.
got to do that to him.
You are welcome back anytime, especially if you
I
bring
appreciate it.
lobster
I might just
rolls.
swing on by a little bit
Yeah,
later and see
please
what else
do.
he's
Just
talking
keep
about.
coming.
I think
come
you can
back.
count on
Ladies and
that.
gentlemen, Ed Brown, everybody. Let's hear it for Ed Brown. See you later.
All right. I don't think any rain is
dramatic. What's it
expected,
blown
but
in?
it is blown in. These lovely ladies here,
What's up,
Michelle Yeoh,
girls?
Claire Henley,
photobombing.
have
Yes.
been regular additions here on U.S. Open now, of course, and now we're welcoming them here on the little hang spot on the set, which is reserved for anybody who wants to stop by. I'm so
Totally.
glad that you guys are here to kind of close this wonderful 2 weeks out.
I feel like you need a beverage of some
I
sort.
agree with you.
All right, let's
But
work on that.
It's been so great to join you all. I've been out in the field watching you guys kill it. Happy to be here in the final 5 minutes. What better time?
Blair, what's been, I mean, you got to speak to some, we loved the Canadians from earlier in the tournament, but what's been your highlight?
Oh gosh, I feel like there have been so many feel-good stories. The Christiane big win for her happened on Grandstand. Absolute chills for me. Dominic Kepfer getting to the 4th round here, making more money at the U.S. Open than he's ever made in his career. So many feel-good stories.
Wow.
Awesome. Well, we're going to kind of continue talking to you guys as we show you. We showed you Rafa and how he's preparing, and this is a look in at Medvedev doing a little one leg.
I believe
action.
I saw Michelle do this before her match against Nick. That might have been the reason why you got that 1 point.
He learned from me, or I learned from him.
I
was
mean,
one
it
of
doesn't
those.
matter. You guys learn from each other.
Michelle, do you give Medvedev any chance against your boy Rafa today?
I give him a set.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he's playing really well. I think Medvedev has really shown that he belongs now, and he's definitely had a good summer beating top players. In this season, he's beaten Djokovic a couple of times and a lot of big name players. So I definitely think that he's ready for this big stage. So, you know, as much as I want Rafa to win, I feel there could be, it's a 4 set for Rafa in my prediction.
Wow, I
That's
mean,
a
we should
solid
just
prediction.
hand this
Yeah,
to you
thank you.
already, right? She's
And
now
guys,
holding
taking us
the.
home.
Michelle, I'm disappointed though you're not wearing your Rafa shirt today.
Seriously. Where's
But
your
you-
Rafa shirt?
You know, I know why, because you're going. Are you going up? Can we say
I
that you're going up
am.
to the president's?
I am. I got invited to go watch Rafa at the President's Box.
Wow.
So I'm really excited.
Thanks for the +1, Michelle.
I know, but
Appreciate it.
I was unsure if I should bring this. I might be kicked out of the President's Box if I
Okay.
bring this and like
Emojis
did
with
this
that.
the whole time.
Blair,
Blair,
what
what
are
are
you
you thinking, Blair?
I have to say, I
Here,
was
Blair,
on
come on.
court.
Open
okay,
debates.
all right, fine. I was on court in.
Did you want the other one?
in Medvedev's 2nd round match when he literally was cramping the last set and a half. I was courtside thinking I might have to walk on at any moment. Could barely stand up. He wins that match. He's in his 4th straight final. I'm going with Daniil. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
Good
just
call.
just drop Rafa. Just drop him.
Bye, Rafa.
Oh, no, I love that. That
you
was
guys, we
good.
are running out of time. Only 2 minutes.
I love that the hang
before
spot is
final.
divided.
So quickly. Whoever still has one left.
Sure.
It's upside down. It's
I'm
fine.
gonna go.
Okay, ready? Whoever has one. 1, 2, 3.
Rafa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Rafa.
Oh, a sweep in the
I'm
eye.
Blair,
I'm happy to be the
Blair.
caretaker.
Blair,
What do you
I
have?
have
What do you
to-
want?
I'm really having a hard time joining Blair. I'm gonna go Rafa.
Okay.
Did,
All right.
Maybe we
I
didn't
almost
learn
went
from
Daniil.
yesterday.
I mean, he's made it this far.
No, I
Why
love
not?
it.
No, it's good.
It's the Bianca pick of the men's final. If you watched yesterday, you know Bianca Andreescu's our champion now. I think Medvedev could, but I'm going safe.
So you're,
We
everyone,
like your
yeah.
bravery,
so Rafa,
Blair.
Rafa.
I think it's Rafa.
Daniil.
Yeah,
I think it's
you can count
Rafa.
on me for that.
Come on.
Guys, a minute and a half before we go. I mean, any
Awesome.
very quick, maybe one word to describe what you think you might see today. One word.
Oh, one word
Yeah,
about
one
what
word.
we might see today?
Yeah, one word.
Fireworks. I think we will.
Fireworks, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Gritty.
say dominance because I don't think that Rafa's going to give Medvedev very much.
All right.
Gritty.
I say history.
I say IQ, some smart tennis.
Oh, that's good, Blair.
I'm going to say electric.
Drinks.
Drinks.
Wow. This is how we're ending things here.
Just in the
on
nick of
US
time.
Open now. There you go. There you go.
And social media.
Cheers.
Oh.
Rafa and the Too good.
That's too good.
We also
All
have
right.
to cheers our incredible crew, right?
Oh,
That
yeah.
have done a
So
fantastic job.
cheers to our crew. Cheers to everyone who has been watching us here on US Open Now. We thank you for your continued support. 50% of you are watching from around the world. So I don't know what else to say, guys. It's been a fun run. It's been a fun 2 weeks. Cheers! I think that's the
We are doing a
appropriate
cheers.
thing to say.
Clink,
Cheers!
clink.
Of course, you can watch the men's final with your broadcasting partners from around the world. Everybody getting set for their big men's final. And with that, we're going to say goodbye and enjoy the final. Enjoy the rest of the US Open, and thanks for watching.
Cheers.